SEAL Team 6 reveals the real haunted place in Iraq. Are you prepared to unearth the terrible mysteries that lie within the most haunted location in all of Iraq? Get ready, for SEAL Team 6 is about to emerge from the shadows. What dreadful things may possibly be hiding in this enigmatic location? They have secretly established facilities in the backlands of Somalia, where they plan to carry out lethal operations. They have participated in close-quarters fighting in Afghanistan, to the point where they have emerged covered in blood that was not their own. Their preferred weapons for covert operations conducted in the dead of night have ranged from specialized carbines to primitive tomahawks. These operations have taken place at all hours of the night. They have operated covertly in embassies as male-female pairs, posed as civilian workers of front companies, and established espionage stations around the world that are disguised as commercial boats. This has allowed them to track individuals that the United States government wishes to murder or capture. These missions represent a part of the unseen past of Navy SEAL Team 6, one of the most mythologized, most secretive, and least examined military groups in the United States. The team that is best known for eliminating Osama bin Laden was formerly a small organization that was reserved for highly specialized but infrequent missions. However, after more than a decade of combat, the team has evolved into a global manhunting machine. This role represents the new method that the United States conducts war, which distinguishes battles not by victories and defeats on the battlefield, but rather by the persistent killing of suspected terrorists. The classified special operations team known as SEAL Team 6 is cloaked in almost complete secrecy. In fact, the Pentagon does not even officially admit the name of the unit, despite the fact that some of its accomplishments have been public knowledge in recent years and have been praised in those accounts. An investigation into the history of Team 6, based on the results of dozens of interviews with current and former members of the team, as well as analyses of official government records, shows a story that is significantly more convoluted and controversial. Team 6 carried out tasks in other parts of the world that blurred the usual distinctions between military and spy, while they were simultaneously engaged in grueling wars of attrition in Afghanistan and Iraq. The sniper unit of the team was reorganized to carry out covert intelligence operations, and the Navy SEALs joined agents from the Central Intelligence Agency in a program called the Omega Program, which allowed greater leeway in hunting down rivals. Team 6 has been able to successfully carry out thousands of deadly raids, which military authorities credit with helping to destroy insurgent networks. However, the activities of Team 6 have also prompted recurring concerns regarding excessive violence and the deaths of civilians. In 2009, members of the squad collaborated with the CIA and Afghan paramilitary forces in an operation that resulted in the deaths of a group of youngsters and exacerbated tensions between Afghan and NATO officials. Afghan villagers and a British officer have accused the SEALs of carrying out indiscriminate killings of males in one hamlet. Even an American captive who was rescued in a daring operation has questioned the decision to eliminate all of his captors by the Navy SEALs. When concerns about unethical behavior have been voiced, there has been a minimal amount of oversight from the outside. The Joint Special Operations Command, which is in charge of supervising the operations of SEAL Team 6, has conducted its own investigations into over a half a dozen incidents, but it has rarely reported these cases to the Navy investigators. JSOC investigates JSOC, and that's part of the problem, said one former senior military officer with experience in special ops. This individual, like many others who were interviewed for this piece, spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the actions of Team 6 are secret. Even the civilians who are responsible for overseeing the operations of the military do not do so on a consistent basis. Congress is notorious for not wanting to know too much about issues like this, said the speaker. Since 2001, SEAL Team 6 has been the recipient of a steady stream of financial support, which has enabled the organization to dramatically increase its number of members. Now the team has approximately 300 assault troops, also known as operators, and 1,500 support staff in order to fulfill the requirements of its mission. But some members of the staff and squad are beginning to wonder if the unrelenting pace of operations has led to an erosion of the elite ethos of the unit and has worn down Squad 6 on combat missions that are not very important. The mission of the force was to hunt down al-Qaeda commanders in Afghanistan. Instead, they ended up spending 2 years engaged in close-quarters combat against mid- to low-level Taliban and other enemy fighters instead. The price was steep. More members of the unit have passed away in the past 14 years than in the entirety of the organization's prior history combined. Many people have been left in a physically and mentally broken state as a result of repeated attacks, parachute jumps, difficult climbs, and blasts from explosives. War is not this pretty thing that the United States has come to believe it to be, the speaker said. It's emotionally draining to watch one person kill another person for extended periods of time. It will bring out the worst in you, so prepare yourself. In addition to this, it's going to bring out the very best in you. Both Team 6 and its Army counterpart Delta Force have demonstrated bravery in the past, which is why the nation's two most recent presidents have sent them to an expanding list of far-off conflict zones. These nations include Syria and Iraq, both of which are currently in danger from the Islamic State, as well as Afghanistan, Somalia, and Yemen, all of which are embroiled in an ongoing state of anarchy. Special operations missions provide decision-makers with an option to expensive wars of occupation, much in the same way that the CIA's program of drone attacks does. The wall of secrecy that surrounds Team 6 makes it hard to conduct an accurate evaluation of its track record and the implications of its acts, such as the number of civilians who have been killed or the level of anger that exists inside the countries in which its members are active. The missions are now ingrained in American military operations, but there has been little public discussion or debate about them. A former senator from Nebraska named Bob Kerrey, a Democrat, served in the Navy SEALs during the Vietnam War. After the war, he expressed concern that Team 6 and other special operations units had been overused. But it is unavoidable for American leaders to rely so heavily on them that they are put in one of those situations where the choice you have is between a horrible choice and a bad choice, one of those cases where you have no other option. The United States Special Operations Command declined to comment specifically on SEAL Team 6, but did say that since the attacks on September 11, 2001, its forces have been involved in tens of thousands of missions and operations in multiple geographic theaters, and consistently uphold the highest standards required of the U.S. Armed Forces. This statement was made while U.S. SOCOM also declined to comment specifically on SEAL Team 6. The command has stated that its operators have been taught to work in complicated and fast-moving conditions, and that it trusts them to behave in an acceptable manner. We take any allegations of inappropriate behavior very seriously. The advocates of the unit have absolutely no reservations regarding the importance of such unseen troops. You certainly don't want that out in public in reference to traveling into undeclared war zones. If you want these forces to do things that occasionally bend the rules of international law, he said, you certainly don't want that out in public. In addition, Team 6 should continue to operate in the shadows. Others, though, are concerned about being led astray by an ongoing series of covert operations that take place out of the public eye. If you're not unacknowledged on the battlefield, then you're not accountable. Hey, we really hope you enjoyed this video. For more, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on what we talked about.